because he had technical issues. I mean, it's a plethora of things that made that specific race win.
So if they
Not
screw it
happen?
up, they can lose.
Yeah, it's human error at this point.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it's better than last season,
It's more exciting. It's already more exciting.
especially when they're willing to race on 3 wheels. That was hilarious.
Now-
Dude, that one wheel, Norris's wheel, flipping around and like taking off parts of his car was hilarious.
That was at least $5,000 every rotation. It was just ripping carbon fiber off.
Do you think his team principal's up there like
Just
yelling at himself, "Stop the car"?
shaking his head. Just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. He wanted to get it back, but here's the problem is, and I think the reason he technically got out too was not just the damage to the car.
All right, is this one working?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey,
We got a Kevin.
but I think he broke track limits. I think he was going to get black flagged if he had kept going.
This one, no. I have to get a new one.
Is that one? Just use the pod mic.
It picks up everything. I figured I could look into one of those.
Oh, you want one of these Sures?
Sure.
Might as well match the group.
Okay, but we need the lav mics.
No, we'll get to the lav mics at some point.
Now look, Kevin's doing the standing now.
I could just stand here the whole time. I am Ron Burgundy.
That's out of focus for sure.
And that's wow.
I gotta get through my mess now.
Wow.
Dude, when does football start? I'm already tired of baseball. No offense, baseball fans.
What? Yes, baseball's boring.
I can listen to it on the radio in the car.
I have watched enough baseball for 2 lifetimes.
I just when is football back?
The only time baseball is exciting is still when somebody gets thrown out. No, that's over.
The UFL? Is that what it was?
That XFL. I think it's over.
I thought the XFL was gone. They combined it with the other one and renamed them both.
Yes, it is the UFL,
Yeah,
United Football League.
but that's done.
I think it's over. We are legitimately into it's just baseball. You're welcome, because the summer league doesn't start till next week. But nobody watches the summer league.
I barely watch the regular season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much basketball. It's pretty much the playoffs and done, unless it's like a marquee matchup.
I did see there was a statistic, and it was like father and son duos for points,
Yeah,
and it listed like all these point scores, and then it just did LeBron and Bronny above everybody else.
yeah.
And the comment under the picture was, "Wow, Bronny just got drafted, and 2 days later he's already breaking records."
That's
like,
silly.
That's dumb. But that's funny.
But has anyone seen if the Lakers are going to have any kind of a chance next year?
No, of course not.
Yeah, but he's not very good.
I liked it.
And he's short.
Short.
That surprised me.
I did like LeBron. Had the most LeBron answer ever.
Yeah.
They're like, well, what if you ended up playing against your son? He was like, I would foul him all 6 times. I was like, wow, that's
What's on the agenda tonight? My cousin from Hawaii is
I mean, we could talk about whatever.
doing
We're probably going to talk about some Supreme Court stuff. We're going to talk about Biden looking like the most useless presidential candidate in
I
history.
feel like both of them were kind of worthless because neither one of them really answered the questions. They kept harping at each
I'm
other.
drinking some of Christian's Calumet that he sent us.
for the record. Nobody answers debate questions properly
Anyway,
for a long time, but
I still wish they would.
yeah, but they won't.
they won't.
Just deal.
I know.
You want to watch a real debate? I'll put on that episode of the West Wing for you.
I've seen that episode.
Or debate practice in the newsroom. Turns out Aaron Sorkin just figured it out.
Yeah, apparently, if Aaron Sorkin moderated the debates, it'd be a fantastic endeavor.
No, I mean, really, I don't know what to tell you. Like, one of them looked lucid and one of them didn't.
Yeah, one of them looked like they had been doing cocaine.
He's been like that since 22, or actually since 20. But he had his moments. Now the moments are becoming more and more frequent, and they can't hide it.
Sorry, we're listening to people off pod. Nothing we can do.
I mean, we could get him on.
Well, okay.
No, we can't. We
let's
just
just
use the
go.
mic.
Let's just
That
go
is
straight
true.
into this, right?
We got the handheld.
So, by Monday, Sunday night, I was in here with you.
Yes.
No, Thursday night.
Thursday.
I was in here with
it
you.
It was Thursday.
And I was like, it's over. He can't win. The middle of this country will not elect someone that looks that weak.
No.
Period. Like, it's over.
End of story.
Now, if the Republicans had been smart, they would have not made a bunch of noise. They would have turned it down to a simmer, because no one's going to forget that. You just got to quietly remind them every, 4 or 5 days, and not made so much noise that the Democrats knew it was over, because then they would have run him and he would have lost and they would have been fine.
That's like telling Alabama fans not to celebrate
I
Alabama
know.
winning the championship.
But now it's a wild card, right? Because they're going to get someone, they don't know who. Fair chance. Look, if it's Harris, right on. Also going to lose.
Yeah.
Newsom,
Gruesome Newsom.
don't know. The governor out of Michigan, I don't know her name.
Who do you think
What is
has
it?
a chance?
Whitmer. Whitmer Warnock, don't know how that ticket fares. The real question is this for me, and I haven't looked. What battleground states have an abortion issue on the ballot in November? And if the answer is almost none of them, if it's all in states that aren't battleground states, good luck to the Democrats, because they've been living on that for 4 years now.
Oh, what's up, Stace?
We got a Stacy.
The fellas are in there watching.
Fellas, what's going on? I don't have any. Are they texting you directly?
No, it's on the comments.
Oh, mine's just not loading.
It's right
Oh, there it
below.
is.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, it's over for Biden. But by Sunday, I was telling you, they're already floating the construct in which he withdraws. Even though they're saying he's not going to withdraw, he's not going to withdraw, he's not going to withdraw. But you're already hearing things like ancillary Democratic Party issues. Well, if he withdrew, he would need to be able to do so with pride and still look strong. They were already floating. Now we're at Wednesday, and we've already heard him saying to aides that he's considering withdrawing. They were discussing this so far before the debate. The debate was a test balloon. They knew it could possibly go bad. There's no way 4 days later they have the construct that he needs to withdraw if they haven't been talking about it for 2 weeks already.
Yeah, he just needs to come out on TV, be like, peace, I'm out, smoke a blunt, and just leave.
But he's done.
That's it.
There's just no way. I just don't know how someone in that condition gets elected president.
Can we just, put Snoop Dogg in as
Well,
president?
that was a shame. I just destroyed that.
Wow. I think that's the answer.
Snoop Dogg for
I
president?
think Snoop Dogg for president.
Who's the vice?
Fitty,
Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre.
No. You got it. You got to cover multiple markets here.
Oh, okay. Rick Ross.
No, come on.
Yeah, why not? Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross?
No, can't do it.
It's better than DJ Khaled. He'd be the sec def.
Snoop Dogg and The Rock.
The Rock?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about The Rock.
Kevin Hart.
Stone Cold.
Well, wait. Which Rock, though? Like, heel Rock or babyface Rock?
I think Babyface Rock. Like the first Rock.
Like,
He's got to grow his hair back.
Like the People's Champion Rock?
yeah.
People's Champion,
No,
yeah.
before that.
Oh.
The Tiki Shirts Rock.
No. No. He's too big to be that small anymore.
Come on, that'd be amazing.
No, well, I'll give you Happy Go Lucky Rock, like People's Champion Rock, and Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
I
James,
think
there's
that's
this.
the
You
answer.
really think that second debate's going to happen with Biden? He agreed to it, but do you think he's going to make it? Hold on, James. Do you really think that's going to happen? Come on.
Well, wait.
there's supposed to be one.
Wait. When is
He
the
almost
second-
fell asleep on stage.
When is it? Though?
His words.
When is it?
September.
That's plenty of time for Disney to finish the animatronic. That's his. If he comes out totally fucking animated, ready to go, check that dude for a Disney logo because I
Listen.
guarantee you he's getting replaced.
Also, James, I'm not saying this because I'm a fan of Donald Trump. I would literally take any two candidates that weren't Biden and Trump. I think Trump's a clown. I have as the same number of problems with Biden. I'm just saying from a purely practical position, he was done the day he stepped on that stage. Done. This country won't elect him. Like the people in the middle of this country that work hard and destroy their bodies for, jobs that don't pay well will not elect him. They won't elect that level of weakness. They just can't. This is my opinion.
I don't think we can again at this point.
Again.
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't think he looked this week the first time around. I don't think he looked this week 2 years ago.
No.
He looked old 2 years ago, but
He looked good in the debate in 20.
Okay.
yeah, that's why he won.
I'm trying to remember the debate in 20.
Oh yeah, in 20 he did for sure. He said Trump interrupted too much, and I agree. Trump just looked nasty in 20. Like, I don't think they realized this, but shutting off his microphone was the best thing to happen to the Republicans, and it was the Democrats' idea. Yeah. So that the New York Times floated, James. The New York Times floated that headline today, this afternoon, that he had discussed with aides withdrawing from the race. That's a today thing. I mean, this is happening in real time, but I think he's going to withdraw. My guess is they're gonna push Harris real hard, but I don't know that they get away from an open convention. So it's still gonna be up to the convention delegates to pick the candidate. This is where I'm at right now, as best I can tell. But they had been strategizing what his withdrawal looked like since before the debate. There's no way they weren't.
They've clearly been having these conversations. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just, you can't not.
James, what are you guys drinking and smoking? Let's get away from terrible shit. What are you guys drinking and smoking? Casey's drinking port. Sick, Casey.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you're surviving.
It's like NyQuil.
You didn't die.
It's like,
You had a Fireball and NyQuil. I don't think Howard watches this. Howard's the guy that sent us the box of samples. I'll text you this too. But if you see this, the ryes were passable. Like, they're pretty good. They're young, but they're pretty good. But rye's good young. The whiskeys all need time. A couple year finishes I'm okay with. Casey really liked the pumpkin spice Fireball, the California sipping whiskey.
Fireball.
The liqueurs would be good for
I
mixing.
I don't think the toasted whiskey got enough time in a toasted barrel. And the American oak whiskey, the finish was decent, but the whiskey was a little flat going in. That's my summary. Do you guys have anything else to say? We all tried them, so. Anything?
I don't really have much.
No,
on
I
that
think
one.
you covered it.
Oh, and that liqueur, the Bessamira.
Yeah, there was Bessamira and then the lemon.
I didn't
one.
like the lemon one. That one had an off note for me, but the Bessamira I thought was good. You could use that as liqueur on a bar for a lot of things.
That was the other cinnamon stuff.
that you mix together.
Cinnamon, hazelnut. There's hazelnut and nutmeg in there.
Yeah, mix that together with the other
100%.
one. Fireball. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Don't get us copywritten already.
What?
You can't be copywritten for singing the song like
you could
karaoke.
just-
You can't.
I'm pretty sure not.
Just see, they're at Stacy's place, so it's not high profile night. It's just regular night.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just curious what you guys are drinking and smoking. I'm smoking. We finally got my black market punks back. So, and I've been smoking all day because I smoked in Reno at Fumare. So chances of this whiskey review being any good on my part, not great.
No.
Cigar review for that matter too, probably.
And I'm just getting over sick, so I don't even know what I'm tasting.
So it's up to Kevin. Kevin, you're carrying us tonight.
Kevin, you
Don't
are.
you do this to me.
It's already
are-
been done.
You're the chosen one.
I can't be the chosen one.
Too late, man.
Nope, can't be the
You
chosen
just got chosen by default.
Default hurts.
Yeah, well, that's your new name. Default.
All those whiskeys mess with my palate. We'll go with that one.
No.
All
Yeah,
of them mess
lies.
with my palate.
Lies.
Blasphemy.
It's excuse.
All right, my palate's not the miracle child like Lane.
It's gonna have to be.
You're gonna have to.
You don't
pull
have a
out-
choice.
Yeah, you're gonna pull out some.
Dude, I was in here the last 2 days when we were supposed to be closed because it's 4th of July week. I've smoked way too many cigars in the last 3 days.
Were you hanging out?
Well, I was working.
Oh. You open for the whole week because of 4th of July then?
Yeah, and probably next week too for celebrity
For
golf.
celebrity golf.
I always forget that celebrity golf's the week
Celebrity
after.
golf. James, you coming up? You gonna come up and party? Bring the boys?
Yeah, dude, seriously, private
Everyone-
party, celebrity golf. Come on.
Everyone's looking around like,
Bring 'em all out.
I don't know if we want to go.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
Celebrity golf.
turns out it's on James, though. Let me just... His comps are free to use.
Wait, what did I ask James to do last podcast?
Come up and show up like he's supposed to.
No. Well, that too, always. But he's supposed to do. Who's texting me? Oh, it's James. He's afraid to put it in the chat.
Oh, he's smoking an EP Carrillo.
Oh, which one? EP Carrillo's good smoke.
The green and yellow band.
Is that the Pledge? No.
No.
The Pledge is blue, right?
Pledge is blue. I think it's the Reserva.
Okay.
I think green and yellow is Reserva.
I like those cigars, though. No, there was something I wanted him to promote something. I don't remember what it was. I'll have to go back. I know where to find the records, James. I'll find it. You should already be working on it, whatever it is. Yeah.
The golf tournament.
Yes, the golf tournament.
Yes.
Legends golf tournament.
The rebringing of the Legends.
Dude, I was talking to the guys at Fumari today. They want it back, too.
Well, that's good.
Listen, we could narrow our market. It could be Legends and cigars. They're all retired. They don't care.
They smoke.
Yeah.
They smoke.
They
when
smoke
they're
in
out there.
public.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't give a shit.
I think they'd be okay with it then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Legends, cigars, and whiskey.
Yeah.
We need a name. You got to figure that out.
Oh, Gerald can bring his tequila.
And yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Gerald can bring the tequila up. Get some celebrity endorsements on it.
See?
See?
And then we can get the fucking boys back.
Yeah. Get Ed to come back out
Yeah.
It'd be awesome to get Ed
with
back
Greg
up.
and fucking
Darren.
Darren.
Yeah, because I think James and Darren would be
Dude, if the
good
boys
friends.
were up here with Ed and Greg and Darren, like,
Yeah.
we'd have to block off the door to the shop. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Install some of those curtains that pull down just for that day.
We are
Yeah.
we are putting in the fucking frosted windows.
The
at that
electric
point.
switch?
Yep.
Yep.
It'd be perfect.
Turn it in one of the quiet rooms. Hit the switch.
No, come on. That's just.
It's not a skiff room. You know
we
how
can
much
turn
that
it
would
into a
cost?
It's okay.
No.
We'll figure it out. We can do it on our own.
I mean, there's sometimes I wouldn't mind it being like a Faraday cage in here. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah. No, so Legends was the name of the tournament, and it was mostly like newly retired or more popular but longer retired players. It was like a tier down from the celebrity golf tournament they do at Edgewood. It was fantastic. The guys were way more laid back. They hung out with everybody. It was a blast. But we need a promoter because their promoter passed away. Who was actually a really cool guy, but he passed away, and the tournament basically just went away. So we need to put it back on.
Yeah. So, James, that's your job.
And the guys they smoke, they hang out, they drink. Like, it's a good time. They were a lot of fun. They were way more fun than the actual celebrities at Celebrity Golf.
That's true.
Oh, they got some Sonomas and Elijah Craig.
Which Elijah Craig?
The same one they had last week.
We're reading texts.
Yeah, we're texting because
I can't see the photos.
Sonoma.
Oh, Flathead V23. What's the Flathead V23? I don't know that.
Is that a new one that just came out?
Oh, we brought the bottle back. Oh, no, that's a picture from before.
No.
Did you bring the bottle back for Casey? What else is going on?
This is a new Flathead. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
Right now, just family, hanging out with the family. 4th
kind
of
of-
July is coming up.
That's kind of what 4th of July is for.
Yeah, for the most part.
Barbecues and, the usual.
Drinking, hanging out.
I'm working for no reason.
You guys aren't going to be busy?
No, we don't have fireworks up there. It's going to be super quiet.
Oh, yeah, you guys aren't close to the lake, are you?
But I think I'm going to leave early because I have to be up there early tomorrow morning for meetings for no particular reason.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Stace had an Aganorsa, although I don't know why, because he still has to finish that 8x80 he left at Ron's house.
Agnor's is good.
I think we got him back in here, didn't we?
I picked up a couple of them.
Wait, what do you guys? Did we cover what you guys are smoking? Did we even get there?
No,
we
we
didn't get
started
there.
going back and forth.
I got the Caribe from Avo.
Is that the Caribe?
Caribe? Yes.
I thought that was the Synchro.
No, the Synchro's, well, it's Synchro Caribe
Oh, okay.
because it's the color.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's the teal and red.
I thought you would enjoy that.
I like a good
That
Avo.
is a good one.
Avo's a good cigar.
I'm about to smoke the Baptiste, the new Oliva.
Oh, yeah.
And I am smoking the sun-grown 10th anniversary from Perdomo.
Nice. I like the 10th anniversary.
And I'm drinking Wild Turkey Rare breed.
Rare breed.
Rare breed wild turkey.
That's right.
He did bring the bottle back for you guys.
Yes, he did. He said he didn't like it as much.
What was it?
The rare character Ambrana.
I wonder whose pick it was.
Well, it's. I think it's just like the Total Wine version.
Oh, so it's just
I think, but he said it didn't have the same taste as the Total Wine one we had. So maybe it's someone else.
okay.
But
Well, it could be because Total Wine's just like send us the sweetest bottle you have.
yeah, and I think this one's missing the sweetness.
Well, it might be missing the Ambrana finish. It might have been sweeter, but without the Ambrana finish. Well, we got the names of who's smoking what.
Yes. See here. Darren's got something. Don't know. Must be cheap.
That's brutal.
I know. I can say that. It's fine.
You pick on those guys a lot.
That's what they keep me around for.
Yeah, now if he was there, they'd pick on him too, though.
It's all love. It's
Esteban Herrera.
Oh yeah, no, I've had those. Those are good.
I don't know that I have any time recently.
Big Al's got a 601. Yeah, the La Bamba.
You know what they haven't answered though? Are they coming up for celebrity golf?
That's because they're having a meeting right now, and everyone's looking at James like, "You gonna hook us up?"
Now would be the time.
Dude, we'll close the shop down for him again.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a blast. See what trouble they can get into. See what trouble we can get James into.
well, now that James is on the loose, you got to be careful. Bad James is out in full force now. It's not like undercover bad James. It's just bad James all
James,
day.
I expect to see a whole different theme in the hats going forward.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change.
just-
Same hats,
Same hats.
but I expect like color themes, different accents. Like it's like your hats are the goatee for the alternate universe in Star Wars. Like this has got to be evil James.
So this is Mirrorverse.
This is
James?
Mirrorverse
Is that
James.
what's going on? I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
So,
He's just like the mask now. He just-
me and Lane were talking over the phone for a while, back and forth, about Trump's thing. So he can't go. He can't pardon himself for that. But
Was
a
this, you
governor
asked the
can.
question. You asked the question if a president can pardon themselves,
I did.
and I don't think we've answered that question.
We haven't answered that question. There are legal arguments on both sides. I don't know the answer.
I mean,
Neither does anybody else, turns out.
I don't think anyone's ever had the chance.
that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. And the only one I think that could have tried was.
I mean, something
Wasn't
tells me
it,
you can't.
I don't think you should be able to.
I mean,
Well, okay, but listen, whether you should be able to and whether you can are two completely different questions.
That is true.
well, also, didn't Nixon say that if the president doesn't, it's not illegal?
Yes, Nixon did say that. Turns out he wasn't entirely wrong.
So, I mean,
Wasn't that after the Watergate scandal?
yeah, it was his interview with Frost, I think. Right?
Yeah,
With
that's when he said it, I
Robert
think.
Frost, that's what he said when the
But it was
president
talking about
doing Watergate.
Watergate.
Yeah, when the president does, it's not illegal.
That's just hard to believe.
Come on, fill us in,
Go-
Kevin.
Please, yeah. What do you?
Jump on camera and expound.
So what I read was in this article they were talking about how they're going to wait and push off his trial until after elections.
The January 6th trial.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, the January 6th trial's effed.
Yeah, so they're pushing.
Because he can't. So the bigger problem they have than the immunity is the presumptive immunity and the inability to use evidence from when he was president to proof it up. So they can't use like all his conversations. The vice president's probably the grayest area, but any conversations with heads of agencies like the federal prosecutors, he's their boss. It's clearly an official act. So they can't use now he's only presumptively immune from official acts, but they can't use his intent, use the actions that he did to prove his intent to break the presumptive immunity. So they can't use that as evidence, which is going to hurt them. It's actually going to hurt, even though he did everything in the paying the porn star case before he was president. A significant portion of the evidence they used in that trial was things he said when he was president to people that worked for the office of the president. So there's a chance they're going to have to go back, eliminate all that evidence, and try it again.
And that's because it's supposed to be confidential because he's the president.
It's
and
not
they
that
work
it's
for him?
confidential. It just can't be. It's not evidentiary. It can't be submitted as evidence.
Got it.
Evidentiary. It's in the word.
It's
literally in the word. Come on.
listen.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a strange setup. I don't know how you get around some level of immunity for the president, especially now. Like, go back when most of the presidents were moderates, like they were Republican or Democrat, but they were closer to the center, right? And the other sides had a certain level of decorum. So they they weren't going to bring charges against an existing president outside of something like Watergate. They didn't, it remains to be seen whether or not they were going to bring charges or not. He was presumptively pardoned by the next president. So in that world, you never need to know if there's immunity because no one is going back and attacking a president for political acts. No one back and attacked Biden or Obama or Bush Jr. for war crimes. And today in that world, if that happened in a presidential term now, they probably would. So the real question, like it's the immunity, I don't know, may or may not have been there before, who knows. But in a world where as soon as you're out of office, the other side is going to attack you for everything that you did in office and bring most of government to a halt, or while you're in office for that matter, and basically freeze government because they're not getting what they want. In that world where each side is super litigious and has no problem violating any level of decorum to do it, how does the president do their job without some level of immunity? But the other thing that I keep running into on all the commentators that talk about this, it doesn't make the act that they're doing legal. It just means that you can't punish them for it. You can still stop the act. Like, you can still put an end to the behavior. You just can't put them in jail for doing it.
You basically say, don't do this again.
Well, no, but like if he gives an illegal order to the army and, Joint Chiefs go no, and it becomes public and it gets tried in the court of public opinion and they're like, no, you can't kill this person who's in our country and is a political opponent. They're not going to be like, he can't then still go tell the army to do it. Now, he's not going to be put in jail for telling them to do it in the first place. This is what it says. It doesn't like tacitly approve the behavior. It just says you can't put the president in jail for the behavior. Like, there's no retribution.
Got it.
I'm drinking the Calumet 15 that Christian, the guy from Texas that you talk to in the chat sometimes, that he sent us for that blind review a couple weeks back.
Oh, yeah, he's in Italy.
Yeah, he's in Italy, in Tuscany, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd like to be in Tuscany.
That would be fun.
I've got a port.
What port?
Tawny Port. It's very
10
good.
year?
10 year.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can think. You can't see him. He's over there. He brings us good port.
Can we see the bottle? I'll send you pictures of the bottles.
The Calumet's on the table right here, James. I don't know if they can see that.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth a shot.
I mean, you can somewhat.
Whatever. It's that.
It's
And-
delicious.
And we have the other bottle coming inward.
Oh,
It's
snap.
inward bound.
Oh, yeah.
So we have a production guy now, so we can just.
James, what do you guys want us to talk about? What do you want to hear?
I was like I said, I was working on that stuff at home, and after I busted my toe, but I got it all glued up.
I can't wait for that sign to be back there again.
I'm trying to get it. How are we gonna hang it sideways again or up and down?
I think sideways.
So I'll have to do the string sideways.
Yeah, I don't see any other way for it to be to be visible and not be sideways. Quit dying over there, Casey.
There.
I'm dying. I'm sorry.
I don't think they can see your bottle. Here.
They definitely can't see your bottle.
Here.
Graham's tenure.
Stuff's delicious.
If they zoom in on the screen,
Maybe.
maybe.
And Kevin's got rare breed.
Yeah, the rare breed wild turkey.
Yeah, that's the 114 point whatever proof.
It's
8, 114.8.
I think so. Yeah.
It's 114.8 or 114.3.
116.8.
Oh, I was wrong. 116.8. That's the barrel proof. You can find that on the shelf all the time. It's like $54.
Man, good price.
It's one of my favorite barrel proof, like, find it all the time whiskeys.
I found this one at Rayleigh's. It was the only bottle, and it was hidden amongst all the other ones. Reading comments.
Oh, yeah, Kevin's, it's because of that camera, for sure.
What? Oh,
That they can see that bottle real well.
yeah, the camera's close enough to where you can actually pick it up and everything.
This camera's not very good for that. Well, it's just the way that it's framed up.
Yeah, it's backed out a little bit more, so it gets both of you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was working on that, and then my ladder fell on me because it's in the garage.
Dude, you're like Mr. Magoo.
I threw that fucking thing. I was so mad. I picked it up and I chucked it across
Kevin
the way.
Magoo.
Kevin Magoo. Look, another new nickname. Thanks,
Should put that on his business card.
Magoo.
Oh, Sarge wants to know what's up, Kev. Tell us a story.
A story? I got a lot of stories.
Something
Some
good.
of them I can't tell though,
Why not?
because I work with the
Oh,
juveniles.
like current stories.
Yeah, I got current ones. I got
Okay.
old ones too.
Dude, I'll tell you a story. I had to drive into California for an errand. I almost got hit like 5 times.
It's California.
Like, do not cross the state line in Tahoe in the summer.
It's California.
When the sun's up.
No.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's California.
it was
It's
brutal.
like- it's
I mean, one dude almost
summertime
blasted me.
in California
Yeah.
is the most dangerous time to be driving anywhere in the state of California.
Dude, I almost got smoked.
I don't go into California.
That's probably smart.
I don't either.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
If I can keep from going, I will never go again.
Our
There-
guest is trying real hard to escape California.
Everyone should be trying to escape California.
I don't know why James doesn't escape California,
He likes it there. I don't know why.
Because everyone else lives in California.
but his jobs are remote. He could
He can go anywhere.
definitely lose the California
well,
taxes
now
on
hang
his
on,
wages.
hang on. Bad James now can go get a fucking live in Bora Bora and just do whatever he wants now. He
Evil
has
James?
he has no ties.
Maybe a condo in Vegas.
Wherever the Badmobile goes, that's where James is going.
The Batmobile. Oh shit.
It was a little hazy.
Was it? I
noticed.
didn't notice any smoke.
And it was more in Carson.
Well,
Well, it was hazier down there than it was up here for
where are
sure.
the fires at?
The other parts of California?
California's already burning.
Yes.
What's that?
Calistoga.
Oh, that's no good.
yeah.
I like Calistoga.
And
That's pretty country.
North of LA, there's a fire still, I think.
Okay.
That
They've
was
had a
big
couple
one.
almost catch in El Dorado. 2 now.
We had a couple of in Carson they were trying to get up, but it's like not my neighborhood.
Did you think he was walking in?
No.
No.
He just caught your eye for some reason.
Suspicious.
Suspicious. Is it because he was bald?
Yeah, it was the bald head.
All right, I'm going to try this. Are we going to review this next week, week after?
Yeah, we can.
Do you want to?
I mean, if it's good.
The Oval Press.
Which one's that one?
The Baptiste by Oliva.
The Oliva Baptiste.
No. It's the Baptiste by Oliva.
Is it brand new?
Baptiste.
Is it brand new?
It just popped up out of nowhere, so I think it is.
I mean, I've never seen
Okay.
it before. I don't know how I feel about the B.
What's it look like?
Baptiste.
It looks like an oval. It looks like someone broke the box press.
Oh,
No, it looks like someone very large sat on a box press and made it go. It's fine. It's okay.
All right.
It
I have
be-
the worst luck.
Should be good.
I have the worst luck cutting off-shaped cigars.
you have the worst luck with box press, so makes sense.
Well, that was good. That was clean.
There you go. See? Wasn't so bad.
See, it's because you got a nice new cutter.
Oh, there's the new guy.
He's like, what's going on?
Is he the director?
He's the swing shift supervisor.
Oh,
They promoted the other guy to manager.
Yeah.
Is that Ponytail?
Yeah. Well, he had one.
He cut it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know who. They don't have a director yet.
No,
Oh, did that other guy leave then? I thought they had a brand new director in security.
they did
They did.
for
It didn't work out.
2 months.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Is that because he just wasn't around and wasn't doing anything?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah,
makes sense.
that pretty much sums it up.
He's just wasting space. Got it. Picking up a paycheck.
Some weirdos walking. Anyway,
That's why I asked you
My
if there was
intrusive
something
thoughts
going
take.
on over there because there was a lot of
I don't know.
weirdos.
There's a lot of foot traffic. I don't know what's going on. So,
This is really good.
yeah,
Yeah.
all
Off the
right.
first rip, nice.
We
Off
got
the
a,
right off the rip.
we got a winner, Baptiste.
It's a little bit of like fruit note, like berry. Like right up front.
Interesting.
A little bit of spiced berry.
spiced berry.
Yeah. I like it.
I think we need to get James up here to do the podcast though, so me and him could tell army stories.
We've been trying.
I stay away
well,
from him because of that.
He's supposed to come up. He was supposed to come up like for his birthday back in March, but he drank too much.
Excuses.
Yeah. He didn't make it to the end.
I thought he was up here.
then-
He just didn't make it to the podcast.
Well,
Is
he
that what
made.
happened?
He was.
in the room. And then
For the
he-
podcast?
No,
I thought
he
he left
wasn't.
Sunday afternoon.
He,
No, they were here.
Oh,
he,
they
he
left
wasn't
Monday.
in the room for the podcast.
Yeah, they because they had to go to bed. Yeah,
I'm about to say I was here. He wasn't in the room for the podcast.
he was in the room. They not for the podcast, but
It was probably early.
it was. They left right before we set up.
You sure James isn't just getting old? Because that's showing your age at that point. You got to go take a nap.
Ooh,
That was a
snap.
gauntlet, James.
Shots fired.
That's right,
Shots
James. You're
fired.
sitting there
He
at
does,
home.
like he doesn't
telling
get
us you're
clowned
coming up,
on
not
enough
even
by
coming
the
in.
rest of the group. Now you got to clown on him from a distance.
Which is only going to lead to him getting clowned by the rest of the group
Yep.
in the room.
You got it, guys. Get him.
Damn, that's cold.
Dude, we need to get them like an omnidirectional mic they can just set up.
And just everyone show up.
Yeah.
I mean, this one probably would do it.
We can get them like a really simple podcast setup. We'll just ship it down to them.
And then they can just set up wherever they're at.
Yeah, and we can just feed them in like we did Christian that time.
Out of Zoom.
Put them in on Zoom.
Yeah.
We should do a group Zoom. They could just show up on the Zoom call.
Do you think Google Meets would work the same way?
I don't know. Probably.
I mean, we need
now
to
that
figure out a
know
way
how
to
do it.
We need to figure out a way to legitimately split screen it.
Yeah.
It takes more practice.
And then just toggle so theirs is fixed and we just toggle with ours and then we can remove it when they're gone.
yeah,
I think that'd be great.
we could Zoom in because conveniently every Wednesday they're sitting somewhere as a collective.
Right?
That is true. That's usually boys' night. But there's a question. Do you guys think that as men need places to go for themselves or to hang out with other men as a group?
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of
Why-
like we do.
Why do you think cigar shops are invented?
I know.
Why
And golf courses.
Why did the Little Rascals have a clubhouse specifically devoted to hating women?
You mean the
Why do you
the
think
Man Women
fishing's a
Hater
thing?
Club?
Yeah. What about fishing?
Fishing is one
Golf.
of those ones where I go out by myself.
The sport of baseball. What?
I meant like the working man every day, you know.
Like, oh, you don't think of yourself as a working man or everyday man?
Not every day. Sometimes I think of myself as
James
Less.
says, hell yeah.
Yes.
Dude, of course.
Yeah.
well that's the thing. That's what because I'm doing boys council again. They finally brought it back and I'm teaching this and I'm like thinking about it. I'm like in
Yeah.
this day and age, especially now, we kind of need a place to go and be able to, you know, be men, bullshit around, do stupid things, talk about stupid stuff.
Yeah. Yes, men need that. That's why you also have to deal with those people that you're dealing with because they find that same level of comfort in gangs.
That is true.
That's their outlet for being men is to find other people in their lives that do the same thing. Unfortunately for them, it's usually like gangbangers, but
Well,
you
that's
know,
that's usually because they're trying to find safety.
Hey,
Same
wait,
deal.
real quick. James, if you like wild turkey, somewhere in your area, there's probably some Russell's 15 floating around. It's brand new. It was just released like a week ago. I highly recommend picking up a bottle.
Is it good? Have you had it?
I haven't tried. It's brand new. We won't see it in Nevada for like 6 months.
I don't think we'll ever see it in Nevada. What are you talking about?
like a Russell's Reserve or just a
It's
Russell's?
the Russell's. You know the 13 that I had?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 13 became the 15 this year.
Ooh, that might be good. James, you're going to have to go find that.
Yeah. I bet it's phenomenal.
Fine too.
He'll be able to get it on his hands before us, for sure. Unless Lane does a California run.
What?
Unless-
He almost got killed going to California. You think he's gonna actually drive in there, further into the heart of the
I think I'm
beast?
safer driving in the rest of California than driving in Tahoe, California.
He goes down to.
Don't be fooled by that. don't think that. Nope.
I was about to say he goes down to the vineyards and all that and hangs out over there. So I mean, it's probably pretty safe for him over there.
Dude,
Nope.
I lost my Napa trip this year, and it's so disappointing.
Oh,
I mean, I could still go, but I lost my free timeshare. I love that shit.
sold it.
No, he traded it so they could take a trip down to San Diego.
Okay.
Which, listen, it's their timeshare. They need to use it. They just don't normally do anything with it. Yeah, I missed the week going down and smoking with the guys at Napa Cigar and wine tasting and just playing bougie.
Yeah, when you can go be bougie and be comfortable with it.
Yeah, when it's expected, like everyone's playing bougie, whether they are bougie or not in real life.
I would be a horrible person to go down there because I don't think I'd fit in. Casey wouldn't either.
I think you'd find a
What?
way.
I am bougie as fuck. Are you kidding
Dude,
me?
Casey, no. Casey went wine tasting with me.
Yeah, it was bougie.
The whole thing, right?
The whole
everything about it.
The whole fucking experience.
like, what do you wear down there?
just
This?
whatever.
Just
They don't
this?
care.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
The clothes don't matter.
You said bougie. I'm like, all right. You
Yeah,
get
no, it's
dressed
the
up in
experience.
case-
You're drinking like $500 bottles of wine and smoking stupid cigars and, hanging out in wine country.
Legitimately, the first winery we went to, I felt like we should have rolled up in Lamborghinis. it was like Tony Stark's house. It was so nice, and I was like, "What the fuck are we doing here?" And they're like, they open the one bottle, and they're like, "Well, this bottle starts at $150," and I was like, "Oh, what a great bottle to start the fucking day off for breakfast. Let's go. This is how the rest of the day is gonna be."
Was that when you stayed down there, or did you guys drive back up?
Bougie as fuck.
Kind of steep for the kid. What's kind of steep?
I don't know.
He texts me. I don't know what he means.
Kind of.
Well, there's a picture attached to it.
Was there? I didn't see that.
I think there's a picture.
Oh, I just saw that.
I don't know.
Is he talking about the Russells?
Russell's Reserve.
Oh, is he looking at the secondary price? I mean, it's not going to be cheap.
Russell's Reserve 15-year limited release bourbon. According to this place at the Wooden Cork, it's $1,099.
Oh, dude, James, the retail on that bottle is like $2.25, maybe $2.50. That's secondary times 3.
That is.
I was like, whoa, if we're buying anything for $1,000, we're gonna
No,
go get
that's
that
ridiculous.
fucking-
That's ridiculous because I saw it. I could have bought it and had it shipped for $3.50.
All right, see, $350. That's a little better than $1,000.
Yeah. That's someone just being a jackass.
What was the
Jesus.
MSRP?
I think it's $2.25. It might be $2.50.
Okay.
No, it might be. In fact, it might be less than that because the Russell's 13 was $150. So it might be like $175
Okay.
SRP.
That's ridiculous.
You just got to find it at a grocery store, like one of the Nuggets or really high end Rayleigh's or something, or Total Wine. What do we got?
what's that place?
So I've been doing this thing at home when I'm getting ready to go out to the garage and get a drink. I choose 3.
Yeah, it's not $1,400 unless you're buying it online. And I already saw a place where I could buy it online for $3.50.
I give him letters and numbers, and then I tell my wife to pick between the numbers. And for some reason, she keeps narrowing down on the 10-year jack every time. I say A, B, or C. She says the letter for the jack, and I'm like, all right, 1, 2, or 3. I change it around, right on the jack again. I don't know what it is.
That she likes it?
No, like that's what I'm gonna drink for that day.
Oh, how do you like it?
I like it. It's not something I want to drink every day, but it seems like every time I put it in the mix, it gets picked.
I really like it. I mean, I can't drink. The only bourbon I have that I could drink every day says Stag somewhere in the bottle.
Yeah, I kind of want to try that George T. Stag. I haven't had that
Yeah,
one
the
yet.
GTS.
Yeah.
You can get a taster of it at Kevin's place.
Oh yeah,
The
I
other
probably
Kevin.
could.
How much does he want for
Although the
bottle?
23,
I don't know. I haven't asked.
oh, he's probably asking $1,000.
There you
Oh,
go, Kevin. You'll,
God.
you'll be fine. Just try it. See if you like it.
Do you think I could get the Kevin deal?
Yeah,
On
it'll-
GTS?
it'll be 900 instead of 1,000.
23 wasn't as good as 22, but it's still really good.
Okay.
I mean, it's just such a good bourbon. It's my favorite.
I like the junior for sure,
Yeah, I do too.
and I already finished off that one bottle. I have my other one I have yet to open. I'm trying to keep myself from opening it at this point because I don't know if I can get another.
See.
Now I feel bad. Next time, listen. Now I don't have the 15, but next time you guys come up, I'll bring in the Russell's 13, and we can drink that because I do have that. In fact, I think I have a couple bottles of that stashed away somewhere.
Sweet.
Because I got that from Fandango when I was still working there. I think I paid
Oh,
$80 a
you
bottle for it.
You
or
got
something.
that for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Dirt cheap.
You go through guys for the bar you work out now, right? Or the
Yeah.
place?
Different distributors, California.
But you don't get the same kind of.
No, I don't have buyout privileges there.
Oh,
It's a different company. Fandango was really cool about that shit. They didn't care. Like it was a privilege that director and above had.
at a casino.
No, just this casino. In fact,
Oh.
this is the only casino I've ever worked where they did that. But I would do it. The GM would do it. The owner obviously would do it because he's the owner.
I feel like that was just because the owner and the GM did it.
Maybe.
They were just like, fuck it, who cares? Their perks of the job.
But it's like directors and up or managers and up can
It
do
was
it.
directors and up for us.
Nice.
But I could buy it out for cost.
Look, it's fine. One day, Lane will have his own casino and he'll just be able to do that. So it's fine.
No,
Yeah.
one day I'm going to have a cigar shop with a liquor license. I'll be able to do it there.
That is true.
That would be nice.
Then we'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I get first dibs.
Of course.
You guys can have first dibs on the Umbrana.
Just as long as there's some Umbrana.
Casey will get the first dibs on the Alvarado.
So,
I'll sit there and ask you to bring something in. And you'll be like,
Dude.
okay.
I'm so sad, man, that Penelope's getting smaller and smaller.
Oh, it's gone at Kevin's place too.
I
Yeah.
know.
Kevin went through that quickly.
Yeah, even at 100.5.
Yeah, it only
I know,
sat
that
there for a
sucks.
couple months.
It's not once a year though. I think it's like 3 times a year.
I know. I just gotta wait for the next, and then catch them at like Total Wine or something. When they're
Or the
cheap.
Rayleighs and Galena.
Oh, that's true. The
Well, she'll
Rayleighs.
hold stuff for me.
Oh, sweet. Well, next time you see it, I need a bottle. I need a bottle of Penelope Rio. Me and James drank too much of it.
I wish they would. They're not even buying the same stuff anymore. That casino's fallen off a ways.
It is definitely not coming back to where it was.
They've lost like 25 to 30% of their play.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a huge amount.
Apparently that cyber attack was pretty severe too.
Well, this was before the cyber attack.
No, I know, but the cyber attack did. That place looks like a ghost town right now.
Does it?
Yeah.
I haven't been
I've driven
over
by.
there
I've driven
lately.
by a couple of times now in the daytime, and I've been like, "Oh shit!" are
Well,
they
the
out of
email they
business?
sent out was awful.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Come play. Like, don't address coming back. Like, just
No.
address what went wrong and how you fixed it. Don't show the ulterior motive.
Yeah. No, you can still come back. But, ooh,
Yeah,
well,
that was bad.
We're not going there.
I got a copy of that. They sent it to me for some reason. And I'm not on their players list, but I saw it somewhere.
You might be on their list still.
I was never on their players list.
I figured they had a separate list for you guys on it.
Maybe, but I
informational?
doubt it. I mean, casinos are really good. Once you're out, like
You're out.
you're out. They cut off access everywhere. They clone your hard drive, and then it gets completely fucking wiped.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yep, it all gets put in a little virtual folder. That way, everyone has access to your stuff if they need to open it. That's why you never saves anything to your
Hey,
computer.
I had a meeting on that web build today.
Oh, how'd that go?
They finished the chat module and the subscription module. In fact, I hit up Sean about hosting it.
Oh, nice.
It's time for them to start talking
Sweet.
so he can give them credentials and, you know.
That's good.
I about to say, when are you going to start pushing it out and trying to get professors
It's
to look at
going to
it?
be up for testing, internal testing, hopefully next week. And I want to get it up by, so classes start for most law schools August 19th. I would like to have it up 2 weeks before that. So like by August 4th, 5th.
All right, James, we'll see you later.
See you later, James. Thanks for joining us.
So August 4th or 5th?
All right, we lost the boys. Do you guys want to talk about anything else in the Supreme Court? I know that annoys them a little bit.
Yeah, that kind of annoys a lot of people right now. What happened in the Supreme Court so far?
Dude, a ton of stuff. So they finally killed off Chevron deference, which is
I saw that, and that was
it's a big deal. It's not as big a deal as either side is making of it.
yeah. It's just to give power to the EPA, right?
No. It's not even that. All right. So Chevron deference was about ambiguous statutes. So you have to first narrow it. It's not all statutes. It's just ambiguous sections of statutes, right? So if they explicitly empowered the agency to do a thing, they can do the thing.
Right.
If they didn't address it at all, they can't do the thing because they weren't empowered to do it.
Okay.
Chevron deference addresses the stuff in the middle. Like they addressed, what's a good example? They said you could fix clean air by limiting emissions on cars, limiting emissions on trucks and ships. And then they say something like, and generally help keep the air clean. And they're like, oh, that means we can also regulate the emissions that come out of power plants. So that's ambiguous, right?
Right.
Because they're empowered to clean up the air, but you don't really know how outside of the things they talk about.
Right.
And it doesn't say they can't do it. So Chevron deference said, as so long as the agency's interpretation of the ambiguity is reasonable, the court should defer to it, which is stupid
Right.
because it's just the court passing their job off on somebody else.
Yeah.
So now, rather than the agencies getting the ability to interpret these laws, which really just became a back and forth between whichever president was in power and how they wanted to interpret the law. So these things changed. So long as you followed APA guidelines, it changed. It went back and forth every 4 or 8 years. Now the court has said, no, that's not your job. It was always the court's job to interpret what laws say, and it is again. So we're going to do that.
Is that because they overstepped their bounds?
Many, many times.
What?
And the courts finally got irritated with
What?
it?
You
Well,
mean
this is the thing.
agencies-
This is what they don't tell you about Chevron deference. They're like 40 years of precedent. Chevron was attacked literally the day after it was decided and has been getting chipped away at
Ever since.
for 40 years.
Right, ever
It was
since.
it was a matter of time before they struck it down. They just finally did it.
Okay.
It was a terrible doctrine. Terrible. Like, let's make Congress do their job and pass laws that make sense, and let's have executive agencies enforce those laws. Period.
What made them come up with that law, anyways? Was there a certain reason, or just because they wanted to be lazy?
Because they felt like the interpretations of statutes was bogging down the courts. But bogged down courts are better than flip-floppy governments,
True.
in my estimation.
I mean, I think agencies need to be able to operate in ambiguity. I don't know.
Only because you operate in a little bit of ambiguity.
Maybe. I'm a non-Newtonian liquid.
So that was Chevron. There's a First Amendment case that they didn't want to deal with, so they sent back to the lower courts, and they're like, you didn't apply this challenge properly.
I did see that.
That one's only fun because basically every judge that wrote an opinion smacked the shit out of the Fifth Circuit, was like, what are you doing? Stop it. They're like, here, in case you don't know what a facial challenge looks like on a constitutional amendment or a law that violates the Constitution, here's how you apply a facial challenge. Facial challenge meaning, so there's two sorts of constitutional challenges. There's facial challenges, saying the law itself is unconstitutional. You can't apply it to anybody. And then there's an as-applied challenge, which says this law, though generally constitutional, is unconstitutional as you applied it to this particular situation.
Oh, okay. Sounds fun.
And it was a facial challenge to some laws passed by Florida and Texas about how they regulate social media. It was a First Amendment challenge. And the court was like, you guys didn't do this analysis properly. Try again.
Can they regulate it more?
Don't know yet.
Oh, that's why they sent it back. Got it.
Yeah.
I think if it was social media from an outside source out of America, they should be able to a little bit because, I mean, wouldn't that give access to a little bit freer access for them?
Are you talking about TikTok?
Kind of, yeah.
TikTok is going to suffer other problems. I think the TikTok ban's going to hold up. because like it remains to be seen what First Amendment protections a foreign corporation has. Now you have to address like the regulation of speech of the people of the users of TikTok, which are, you know, for our part, American citizens. That's what we're addressing specifically, is the American citizens that use TikTok.
Yes.
That one's going to be so their best in. From my point of view, the best way to support that, to say this challenge is constitutional, is to say that this is little more than a time, place, and manner restriction, which is allowed under the Constitution under certain, like, within certain guidelines, and would survive a facial challenge to the ban itself under the First Amendment.
Okay.
The people that want TikTok are going to say that it's more than that it's a complete restriction on speech. But it's kind of like, you know, there's a bunch of social media saying you can't use this one social media. It's kind of, sort of like saying you can't protest in the middle of a courtroom, right? You can go protest in that park over there. Like you can go protest on Facebook, you can go protest on Twitter or X, you know, but you can't protest here. You can't protest in the middle of a courtroom while the court proceeding's happening. You can't protest on TikTok because we're not going to allow TikTok generally because it's a violation of our national security.
Yeah, because wasn't there an issue where it was giving them access to basically the whole computer and anything your email is attached to at one point?
Just put that anywhere. It's not an issue. They haven't proved that that's the case, but it definitely, in the terms of service, they give themselves the rights to do it.
Yeah, I remember that.
But my biggest problem with TikTok, everyone's worried about the data privacy thing. Like, oh, our data is accessible by a foreign country. I think that's a losing argument. I think the winning argument is China could take over TikTok and use it to put out a campaign like interfering with our elections.
Propaganda.
Yeah, but they could do it in mass,
Yeah.
and they could basically take over an entire market because it doesn't cost them anything.
Okay. My other thing is that I'm curious about is this AI speech thing's starting to get a lot better. And are the courts going to have to deal with that at some point?
I mean, the courts are going to have to deal with it relative to copyright.
Okay, just the copyright.
They're going to have
Whoa.
to deal with some other stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Well, I was thinking because there's some stuff with
Like,
presidents' voices and all that has been going around. It's goofy stuff for now, but if you
I mean, presidents don't know what they say half the time anyway. So
I mean,
what's,
clearly.
what's AI going to do?
I'm just saying at some point, fact checking is going to have to get a little harder because of it.
I mean, there's still a level of checking where stuff comes from. And,
Yeah.
and I'm sure most of the AI stuff's got some level of coding that lets you know it's AI.
Yeah, I mean, AI is going to have other problems. They're going to have to, for the purposes of AI, they're going to have to be able to identify what is generated speech and what isn't.
Yeah.
Because if most of the stuff on the internet becomes generated speech and AI starts feeding on itself, then it starts getting worse, not better. Because it starts adopting its own flaws.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they still have the hallucination problem.
Hallucination problem?
It makes shit up.
Oh, yeah. It does that all the time.
Doesn't make shit up. It just
Cites sources that aren't real.
It dreams.
They asked me how I wanted to use AI for the next step of this build that I'm working on.
And
I have some ideas. I'm not going to share them on here.
Of course. I just was, but you are thinking about using it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I think for my purposes, its application is limited. I'll tell you guys about it after the fact.
Yeah.
Because of what I'm doing, like there are certain restraints that you would have to put on it. I have some idea of how I would like to use it to be a value add to the customers without like overusing it and just using it to say I have AI.
Okay. It'd probably work in the
Oh,
search
shit.
aspect.
it's Big Charlie.
Big Charlie.
Big Charlie.
Been a while since I've seen him.
That's because he's usually.
Hey,
getting
what are
in
we
trouble.
at? What for time?
112.
Okay.
With the 15.
So 50 something, 57.
Yeah. Right around there. 50,
What's going on, guys?
57.
Oh, we got more.
I mean, we could wrap up early if you want. And
Well, hold on. Hey, you want to take my seat? Sure. I'm gonna help these guys with some scars.
All right, guys. Lane's gonna step away and help, and we're gonna have our guest that's been sitting in the room join in. Hopefully,
Good. Gives me the port, too.
Yeah, it's
we
port.
can entertain you a little bit more. He's also drinking a port, and
Same stuff.
same stuff,
Same tawny port.
same tiny port. Headphones are right up there. There you go. Anyways, what are your plans for the 4th of July?
Work.
Work? It's always work,
I'll be here.
of course.
There's nothing going on 4th of July.
We gotta bring some friends up. Gotta get some people up here, entertain you.
I mean, doesn't matter. I'll be entertained by whoever shows up.
That is true.
It's all the tourists.
So
All right, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Tom Kearney. I'm out of California.
Well,
And Bally's was
hi,
nice
Tom.
enough to invite me up for the 4th of July fireworks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Comp me a room. And my wife got comped too, so we got another friend staying there. And then we're going to head up to Reno afterwards, and we got a luau at the Peppermill.
ooh,
nice.
Peppermill.
Yeah,
That'd
so
be nice.
it's going to feel like Hawaii because it's going to be like 107 up there.
It
Yeah.
is. There is a massive heat wave coming.
That is true.
I think it's Saturday to Thursday.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be in the
Supposed to
hundreds where
be.
we're at too.
Hundreds, heat wave.
Yep. Setting records, they say.
P&G is going to shut down all of California.
Yeah.
Rolling
It's gonna-
blackouts.
Rolling blackouts.
Except for it's not rolling. It's just gonna stay blacked out.
That was the thing, right? Wasn't that a thing in the 80s, like the rolling blackouts in New York?
Yeah,
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they would do it
It
so it
was
wouldn't
like
overtax
all
the
of New
power
York
system.
would just roll through blackouts every summer.
Yeah, they just start tripping and then they'd go from one to the next. But with California, they were starting to do rolling blackouts because they didn't want to have the fires. But, you know, it was just, they're PG&E's protecting their ass with the fires again. But they didn't get any, I don't see anything that happened to them because they just turned around and passed it on all the customers. Because our PG&E bill's gone up like 40 to 60%.
Ooh,
That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
They paid the money and then
And then they
they're
turned around
like,
and billed the
all right,
customers.
guess who's paying now, sucker?
I was watching another podcast and one of the guys said his power.
we need like the whiteboard that you have at work, like number of days since the injury, except it's number of days since PGA certified, PG&E certified in California. It needs to be a Twitter.
Yeah.
But he was saying that his bill for power went up drastically, like $800 a month.
Oh, yeah.
Is
For
that-
power?
for power.
Yeah.
And that's
What-
down in LA where he
What
lives.
what kind of house is he? What is it? A compound?
I
Is
know
he growing weed? What
No,
$800?
He did set up a server because he's making a movie, so it's one of those things where it's
Jesus,
just ripping through power.
dude, my electric bill gets up to like $160, and I think that's too much.
Mine gets up to around 200 because everybody wants to leave the lights on.
Well, that's your problem.
I know exactly.
Just-
well, actually, not really. I don't
Just
pay
start
for it.
unplugging breakers, man. Just flick them in your house.
The wife pays for it, so it's on her.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine. If the wife pays the bill, then crank that bitch up.
I pay the house note and the car insurance and a couple other things. She pays everything else.
Well, yeah, I've heard the $800, $600 electric bill, and I'm like, what are you doing? Turn off a light bulb. What is
AC.
Listen, the
lights,
swamp
everything.
cooler doesn't use that much power. I've had that running the
Yeah,
last
I
couple
mean-
summers and didn't even budge really.
Yeah, I don't know how you get there. I really don't.
Well, it's just the rates have gone up so much.
Okay.
So it's not that we've used more.
And your neighbor's plugging his Tesla into your house instead of his house.
Well, then that's another thing. Everybody's plugging in a dryer and running it all night long, right? So that's going to run up your bill. It's funny how everyone thinks, let's go electric, but they don't realize where they're getting the electricity from. And then the grid can't even handle if everyone goes electric.
Oh, I would love to see everyone
So-
plug electric cars in and just watch the power grid just.
Yeah.
Nope, not happening.
I think that's going to do that everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
The,
Well,
the only one that I think will be fine is that compound that he's planning on building in one of the other states. he's building his own area at some point, to my knowledge.
He's building a power plant to handle it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's a power plant. He wants to build his own city, a
Yeah.
bunch of other things.
Well, that's really what everyone needs is like every house would need its own battery.
Well, that's what they're trying. They're
Yeah.
trying to have the power walls and the solar. But once you run out of sunlight, you're not going to last too
And
long.
then you run out of solar.
Yeah. Then look what happened Midwest. All the charging stations didn't work because it was too cold. All the electric cars wouldn't start, so everybody got screwed. So
Isn't that the biggest deal, though? Like, even here, like, some people have to plug in their car to what is it? A charger, a trickle charger, just to keep it in the winter from killing the battery.
right,
Yeah.
right, because batteries don't
Yeah,
work well.
turns out cold and battery not good.
Well,
Do you remember as a kid they'd tell you to put batteries in the freezer? That was a thing.
well, put them in a little pyramid. and
That's right. They would last longer.
The copper pyramid charges batteries. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
But it seems that Norway does pretty well with their electric cars, so they did solve the problem.
But
with
aren't
coal.
they direct current, not alternating current?
Well, yeah, all DC is, as far as the batteries, are direct current.
Well, yeah. I mean, country-wise, different countries have gone with DC instead of AC when they first started making their power system. We went with AC because I think Ben had rights on that, whereas Tesla was looking at doing DC, and they stepped over him.
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison.
Thomas
Edison.
Edison, yeah. Well, the
Thomas Edison had the patent,
Yeah.
and he stole them from Tesla.
right, right.
After they did that smear campaign with
Yeah,
DC.
with the elephant.
The elephant and
Yeah, electrocuting him.
They barbecued an elephant.
Yeah. Well, plus DC doesn't run as far, so what you need to keep having generators closer to your source, and then the AC, you can run it over miles without having it drop.
Right.
So that's why alternating current took over. And DC is more dangerous too.
Yeah.
So
Turns out, but that elephant thing gave us an idea for prisons.
That is
right,
true.
well, he invented the electric chair.
They went,
Yeah.
guess what we can use that for? Let's go to Texas.
And they did.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what's been going on with you, Tim?
Tom,
My bad. My brain's.
Just working.
he's drunk.
Just working on getting out of California.
I'm not drunk.
I'm
My
one
mind's
of
just
those that are
misfiring.
trying to escape.
You and everybody else.
Yeah, 800,000 people so far.
You're turning all the other like neighboring states into refugee states. Like,
Well,
we got to take in refugees from California.
That's what it's looking like.
What happened to you? We were in California.
So it's selling your place. Is that hard? Especially with
it is.
800,000 people trying to do the same thing?
Well, what the problem now is with the interest rates so high, people don't want to sell their primary resident because if they go into another primary resident, they're going to move from maybe a 2 or 3% mortgage rate to a 7% mortgage rate. So now there's not enough properties on the market. So there's very little supply. And demand is cut back a bit because a lot of people can't qualify at 7% for buying. So that's slowed the market down. It has driven up the prices, but you're looking at a lot of people saying, I'm not selling if I have a 3% rate and then go buy something else at 7%.
Fair.
So there's a lot of that. Other thing California screwed themselves with is the rental market. They made it so difficult for property owners to remove bad tenants. And that came about even prior to COVID, but once COVID hit, it was impossible to get a tenant out. Now, they've just prolonged that, and it's difficult to get tenants out. All the rights are for tenants, and landlords are just saying, I'd rather just sell and leave.
Look, Housing Code 1911 says you can get anybody out of your house.
Well, yeah, you have to be creative, but I've seen people lose their properties because they've had tenants in there that wouldn't pay the mortgage.
I got 45 articles that says you're going to get out of my house right now.
But geez, that's the dangerous thing. You wind up losing your house. You know, and then the law's all on their side.
So that, and then people aren't going to rent out their houses anymore because of that.
Well, yeah,
Right,
you
yeah.
get burned once, you're not going to do it again.
Yeah, so people just either leave them vacant or they're the houses that have gone on the market. So if it's a rental property, you're more likely to sell it because you're already in your primary resident at whatever rate you have. You're not worried about changing rate by selling your rental property. You're just done with renting and you're getting out of that market. And what was happening is a lot of big corporations were coming in and buying up properties and becoming the landlord. So you got the smaller private homeowners that had rental properties move into big corporations that own a lot of rental properties. And they're getting to that point where they're starting to move away from it as well. So the market's screwed for now. It's going to take a while for it to recover, for the rates to come down, people to get back into the market. Plus, there's a shortage of property as far as development. It takes about 3 to 4 years to take a piece of vacant land and develop it, and then build houses on it.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing that in Sac.
Yeah,
All along 50 now. There's places where it used to be farmland and hills, and you drive down there now and you go, holy shit, there's like 600 houses in this like piece of land you didn't used to see before. Like that Costco, right as you get to El Dorado Hills.
Eldorado Hills.
The Costco right there,
Yeah.
across the way used to just be these hills. And it was really nice. And now when you drive down there, it's just suburb housing
every hillside you see.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We came up December. We stayed up here for Christmas. So that's the last time we came up. And just coming up today, we were amazed how many new developments are all along 50.
That's crazy.
So it's just they're building as much as they possibly can. And also anything a little bit south and north of Sacramento always has nice housing, nice roads, everything else, because all the money's coming out of the capital, all the jobs, everything else. When you drive on the freeway, you'll notice the difference between driving down in the Bay Area and driving up around Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be nice by the Capitol building.
Yeah, anywhere around that area.
They got the first dibs on money. That road needs to be repaved again. All right.
Plus now they're doing all the toll roads, so they're cleaning up the high. They're so much
Yeah,
road
there.
construction.
I think from like Vallejo this way on. I think it's 80 there, but I think they're adding a toll road
Oh yeah,
the whole way.
yeah. Well, from if you go from the Carquinez Bridge or go across over to 680 and go down 680, that's all toll road.
Is it toll
down
now?
there. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then now they're trying to make it from Vallejo up all the
Yeah.
way. Because they're just, I mean,
And
they'll clean the road up, they'll make it nice, but part of it's going to be toll road.
And they fucking get you now.
Oh, yeah.
That shit takes a picture of your license plate, just
Yeah,
sends
oh,
you the
yeah,
bill.
yeah.
You can't even like nah or like whatever. It's just already got a picture, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, you
Like-
have to have the fast track
yep,
and then carpool.
yeah.
But there's something you have to, I think that it's a newer fast track that you have to register to be carpool.
Yeah,
Because
but
I drove in it once with 3 people in the car and they still sent me a bill.
bastards.
Oh, wow.
Bastards. That's how they get you.
Yeah, you're better off just
But
paying
yeah,
it than
every
fighting.
time we go to Walnut Creek, we cross that bridge, and now coming back, they used to have the toll building, and now it just takes a picture and you're done.
Yeah.
And I just get a letter from Cal. I'm like, what the hell? California just billed me for no fucking reason.
What
Fuck
are they-
them.
How much do they charge you for toll?
I believe the toll now is $8.
It's $8.
Yeah, for the crossing the bridge. That sucks.
That sounds horrible.
When I
Yeah,
first came
and you
out,
better
it was-
pay it first because it's going to be $45 if you get the late fee.
Yeah, they keep going.
Really?
Oh yeah. Although Lane, you got pretty lucky. You got that thing blocking your license plate. So technically, you got the bike rack. Oh yeah. So you could totally get through the toll road without getting hit.
Well, they take picture of front and back.
He
so
doesn't have a front
you don't have
license
front
plate.
plate. Well, that's why they went after
I only
all the
need
new
one.
cars too, because all the new cars that have the paper plates, there was no way to track them.
Oh.
So now they used to have just the registration taped to the window, So they're saying, no, you have to have a paper plate when you drive off the lot so they can track you because everybody's just going through the tolls. But I have a previous tenant, and I get at least 2-3 times a week a toll evasion letter in the mail to the address. This guy's just running back and forth. He doesn't care.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, there's no enforcement.
Nah,
I mean,
just get a bike rack, take off the front plate.
yeah,
and you're
it
fine.
doesn't matter. They send it with a nice, clean picture of his license plate, his name. He doesn't care. They don't go after you. Basically, you can't register again because it's all going to DMV. But he's probably not registering his car.
No.
And now in California, the cops don't pull over cars that have no plates, no registration, no tags. They just don't. They don't enforce that. In certain cities, they do. I'll tell you, in Vallejo, they don't, because all the cars that I see, they don't have windows, front windows, back windows, no plates, no catalytic converters. They park anywhere they want.
No catalytic converters.
So-
They'll get stolen. That's why.
There's a chance that California's going to turn into Mad Max.
It's getting
telling
that
me?
way. It is
Dangerously
getting that
close
way.
every year.
And then
You take away the water from California, it'll be Mad Max in a heartbeat. Let me tell you right now.
we'll talk about the Supreme Court. One of the rulings was the cruel and unusual punishment for camping on the street. So basically, they brought that up to the court, saying that by going after people camping on the street, that's cruel and unusual punishment.
Because they have nowhere else to go, right?
Right, but the Supreme Court struck that down, said, no, that's not cruel and unusual. So now California can go after everybody camping on the street or in parks and everything else.
But what
like
are they
that.
going to do?
They're not. They're not going to enforce it.
About to say they can't charge them because one, they're homeless. Two, they can't. If they arrest them, they're going to have to pay for them regardless. At that point,
It's pretty much they're trying to corral them into certain parts of the city, try to keep them out of the densely populated residential areas, and let them go towards the highways and everything else.
Just
like
give them bus tickets and send them to Santa Barbara. or
weren't they
something.
putting things on over there under the underpasses, like spikes or something, at one point too?
Oh, they have built. There are like sharpened spikes along, like
Yeah.
to keep pigeons out, but for
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, it's all on the concrete underneath.
they just throw a janky rug over that and climb over them. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Well, that and also they had they'd put K rails up to stop them from getting in, and a week later they're all busted up and they go right through them. They're bringing in trailers and fifth wheels, things like that.
They get pretty creative in certain spots.
yeah.
It's interesting.
You know, if I was homeless again, I'd probably just camp out in the woods over here.
I'd camp out in front of the Capitol, right in the park there.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. So this way I could go and get all my benefits and everything. Like that.
What are they going to do? Kick you out?
No, you just
They're not doing anything right now.
The newest thing they're doing now is, you know how everyone does the side shows and they want to spin donuts on your corner if there's enough room?
Yeah.
They're putting in concrete, kind of like a small K-rail, and then spikes on it. And they put it at the intersections in 3 different spots of the intersection to keep them from doing the donuts and everything there.
Oh,
So that's great. I mean, they're spending the city's money, thousands of dollars at every other big intersection. They'll just go somewhere else, or they'll destroy that and go over it. You know, if they pass the law where if we catch you at a sideshow or spinning donuts, we're going to impound your car for 6 months. You know, and you'll pay the fee as well.
Especially if you want your car.
Yeah.
But if everybody has their car at the impound, they're going to run out of room quickly.
Oh, well, that's why they don't tow vehicles anymore in Vallejo, because there's no more room at the impounds. So they just buy more land or rent more land, you know, impound them. They don't come pick them up, sell them at auction. You'll make money. But it's gotten to the point where it's enforcement. It's crime and punishment. There's so much crime, but there's no punishment, which means that there's just going to be more crime and more crime. And they know that they're not going to get punished, so they they're getting more and more aggressive and bold. Just the other day, one guy grabbed a purse from an older lady. They were just coming out of a mall. I think it was in Newport Beach. And they dragged her along the street because she wouldn't let go of the bag. The getaway car pulled up to get the guy that was dragging the bag, ran over the lady and killed her. You know, it's just the kind of shit that's going on. This is something that would be happening in third worlds, and it's constantly happening here, and it's getting worse. In Vallejo, they're having a problem where elderly that go to the bank, to the ATMs, or even inside, they're hanging around the banks, waiting for them. They follow them home and mug them outside the house when they get
Jesus.
out of the car. So it's just getting to the point where you let so many people in and you don't punish the criminals that are here, they're going to get hungry and they're going to get desperate and they're going to feed on the population. And then if there's not enough police, which most cities don't have enough police, it's going to get,
It's going to start turning to Wild West.
yeah, it's going to turn, basically, if you don't protect yourself, you're not going to get protected.
But that's the thing. If you protect yourself in California now, you get in trouble for that, and they'll punish you for that, but not punish somebody else for doing whatever they're doing.
That's California, baby.
If you shoot, make sure you shoot them in the front and take them out. Don't shoot them in the back.
But that's the thing. You can't do it outside either. It has to
Right,
be
it's gotta
in
be
your residence.
In your residence, protecting your property, fear of life. There's, you know, it's just so difficult. It's getting to that point where you just don't feel safe in your own country, in your own city, in your own house. So you really have to get to that point where you decide, do I want to stay here? Do I want
No.
to? I don't.
It's time to get out.
That's
Time to get out.
I'm getting
Here it is.
out of California as quick as I can.
The only reason why I was in California was because of the Army, and I will not go back. Every time I have to go over there, I hate it.
Yeah.
No, it's
It was a great state. It's just
it's
just-
pretty.
Yeah, it's got
It's
give you
pretty.
that.
There's great
beautiful
places
weather,
to go.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, you know,
It's just
There's the California, man. The women, weed, and the weather. That's all you got to go for.
And even then, half that's not worth the time going.
well, they still have the wine country.
That is true.
They have great weather, great location for some areas, but it's gotten to the point now. Unless you're very wealthy and you live in a really good area, you're not having a quality of lifestyle for the amount of taxes you're paying. It's just not worth it.
Right.
You know, I have friends that are like, "Oh, I'm not going to leave." That's because he's got a nice house up on a hill with a nice pool down on a cul-de-sac, and he's comfortable. But
Yeah.
when he leaves the house, he's not comfortable because he still has to shop in the shopping centers and things like that, and that's where all the stuff is happening. So unless you want to get all the groceries delivered to your house and stay in your house all the time, it's getting to that point.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, criminals feed off rich areas too, because that's where the money's at.
Yeah, they're more likely to go that way.
Yeah. Well, you saw on the news, what was it, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, they were saying how they were having the tourist visa for, I think it was Chilean or Venezuelan, and they were coming up here, and they were robbing properties, rich homes out of L.A., and then hopping on a plane and flying back home. And they didn't need a visa because they had their passport allowed them to come in as a
Wow.
tourist visa. So it was tourist crime, they were calling it,
Wow.
you know. And they were breaking into homes. You could see them on the cameras where they climb over these huge fences, break into really multi-million-dollar homes, you know, and they would even go in when people were there. So
So it's just getting crazy out
it
there.
is, you know. So
All right, Kev, want to wrap us up out of here?
I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's on that. We're making a run from California,
yeah.
so run us out of here.
Time to run away. Anyways, that was another Big Ash podcast. Go ahead and do the YouTube thing, and we'll see you on the next one.